Hey guys, welcome to another edition on Immigrate with Ammy. I'm back again with another interesting and informative video for those that would like to relocate to Canada without going through the hurdles of securing a job for Canada immigration. I know securing a job from outside Canada is not that easy, right? But then a lot of people are securing these jobs and they are moving to Canada with their families. However, this video is a direct permanent residence to Canada with your family without a job offer if you have the required document or if you meet the eligibility criteria. Now, I've been doing a lot of research on immigration, mostly for Canada, because a lot of people seem to be interested in moving to Canada, and also because Canada has hundreds of immigration pathways for immigrants. So I will keep doing more research for you guys. The only favor I need from you guys is to always give my video thumbs up and also to share it with your friends and your loved ones. So if this is the kind of video you would like to watch, give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you haven't, share my videos with your friends and your loved ones, and keep watching.
Hello guys, you're welcome to Immigrate with Ammy. We want to talk about a provincial permanent residency pathway in Canada that does not require a job offer. One of the programs that we do promote on this channel is Canada Immigration, and at the level of Canada Immigration, apart from the federal express entry system, each of the provinces also have their own separate nominee programs that allows international applicants to immigrate to Canada as permanent residents. So we'll be focusing on one of the provinces today, and we'll be picking one of the permanent residency pathways in this province. Now, the good thing about this pathway is that it does not require you to have a job offer from that province, unlike so many other provinces where a job offer is a key requirement if you want to apply for the provincial nominee program. This one does not require a job offer, which makes it easier for people to apply for. Okay, so we're talking about New Brunswick, which is one of the provinces in Canada. This particular opportunity is for people who have the required skills, who have the qualifications, and who have the work experience to fill a high demand occupation in New Brunswick. This particular program actually increases your chance of being issued an invitation to apply for permanent residency in Canada. We'll be looking at some details about the program. We'll be looking at the eligibility criteria. We'll be looking at the factors that actually determine your chances of being accepted, and then I will do like a quick walkthrough just to show you guys the steps that are involved in applying for this provincial nomination program. Okay, so the name of this program is called the New Brunswick Express Entry Stream of the New Brunswick Provincial Nomination Program. So under the broad umbrella of the New Brunswick Provincial Nominee Program, they have different streams, okay, and one of those streams is what they call the New Brunswick Express Entry Stream. They have other streams like the Atlantic Immigration Program, like the New Brunswick Skilled Worker Stream, and the New Brunswick Business Immigration Stream, okay. But today we are focusing specifically on the New Brunswick Express Entry Stream that does not require a job offer. So let's take a look at the selection factors. Okay, so what actually determines if you have a good chance of being selected is based on what is represented on your profile. Okay, so the way this system works is that it works through a system that they call expression of interest, where you can go to the provincial platform to actually register your interest of moving to New Brunswick as a permanent resident. Now, when you are submitting that expression of interest, they will ask you some series of questions and you will get points on different categories, all right? And then at the end of the day, after you have filled in your entire profile, you would have like a total score which corresponds to what you have scored in each of the selection criteria. Okay, so what are the selection factors that determine your point? The first thing that you need to know is that the total point that you can score is 100 points. Okay, that is the maximum, and that is the total obtainable point. However, for you to be qualified or for your profile to remain in that pool of candidates, you would need to score at least 67 points out of possible 100 points. Okay, so what are the factors that determines what you can score? First is your age. The first thing is that you must be between 22 years and 55 years of age. Okay, not younger and not older than this age range. All right, based on your age, you can get different points. So for example, the maximum point you can get on that age is 12 points. All right, so you can get that 12 point if you are between 22 and 35 years. Now, if you are less than 22 years old, you will get 0 point for age. All right, which means that they only need people from 22 and above. All right, and then if you are older than 35 years, okay, the points continue to decrease until 46 years. So if you are also older than 46 years, so if you are between 47 and 55 years, even though you can submit a profile, you will score 0 under age, and then you will only get point in the other factors. All right, so if you are from 22 to 35 years, you can score 12 points. If you are 36 years, 11, 37 years, 10 points, 38 years, 9 points, as you can see on this table. Okay, so the lowest point is 0. After that, it's 1 for people who are 46 years old. Based on your age, you can already see how many points you can get under the age factor. Let's move on to the official language factor, and under this particular criteria, you can score a maximum of 28 points depending on your score in any of the approved language proficiency tests. So what you score in the language section depends on your performance in any of the approved language proficiency tests. If you have proficiency in a second official language, so if you write both the English and the French test, you also get additional point for having proficiency in the second official language. But of course, if it's only one you are proficient in, that is actually sufficient, and that is enough for you. If you are writing the IELTS general training stream, which is like the most popular proficiency test for English speakers, you would need to score a minimum of 6.0 in each of the 4 sections to qualify for this particular program. Okay, if you are writing the self-pip, you will need to score at least 7, and then if you are writing TEF, you would need to score 207 in reading, 310 in writing, 249 in listening, and 310 in speaking. So basically, what your score is in the language factor depends on what you score in each of the 4 sections of the language proficiency test. That is in reading, in writing, in listening, and in speaking. But maximum point for one language proficiency is 24. And then if you have a second official language proficiency test result, then you can score 4 additional points, making it up to 28 points. Okay, so that's the second factor. The third factor has to do with your education. By the way, you need to have already completed your educational credential assessment, and you can do that with any of the designated organizations, including WES, CES, ICAS, IQAS, ICES, Medical Council of Canada, or Pharmacy Examining Board of Canada as well. So all of these organizations can assess your credentials. What are the scores that are obtainable under education? Under education, you can score a maximum of 25 points, and that is for people who have a PhD. For master's holders or professional degree holders which are needed to practice in a licensed profession, for example, medicine, veterinary medicine, dentistry, optometry, law, chiropractic medicine, or pharmacy, or if you have a master's degree, you can score 23 points. If you have 2 or more certificate, degrees, diplomas, or certificates from a university, college, trade, or technical school, then you can score 22 points. And then if you have only a bachelor's degree or a 3 or more year program at a university, college, trade or technical school, you can score 21 points. Okay, if you have a 2-year degree, a diploma or certificate, you can score 19 points. If you have a 1-year degree, diploma or certificate course, you can score 15 points. If you have only a secondary school diploma, you only score 5 points. Under education, you can score maximum of 25 points. So let's move on to the next category, which has to do with your work experience, and under that you can score 15 points. If you have 6 or more years of experience, you score 15 points. Between 4 to 5 years, 13 points. Between 2 to 3 years, 11 points, and 1 year, 9 points. So those are the scores under work experience. There are other additional factors that can earn you for some extra points. For example, if you're currently working in New Brunswick, you get additional points. If you are currently employed in the province, you can get 10 points. And then there are also additional points that you can get for a factor that they call adaptability. What does that mean? If you or your spouse or common law partner have a relative who is 18 years or older living in New Brunswick as a Canadian citizen or permanent resident for at least 12 months before submitting your application, you can get additional 5 points. If you have an arranged employment, you can get 5 points. If you have studied previously in New Brunswick, you can score additional 5 points as well. So these are like extra point. Now, if your spouse, okay, has also written a language proficiency test and the person scores a Canadian language benchmark level 4, you can get 5 extra points as well. Now, if you have a spouse who has worked at least 1 year in New Brunswick, you can get additional points. So all these factors that I'm just mentioning, all of them are for additional points in addition to what you have scored in the main eligibility factors. The next thing is, let's move to the application process. So what are the steps that you would need to go through if you want to apply for this program? The first one is that you would need to have a valid express entry profile. Okay, so this particular program, even though it doesn't require a job offer, it is connected to the express entry system, the federal express entry system. So you would need to first create an express entry profile, meaning that you must have written the English language proficiency test. You must have also completed your educational credential assessment. Once you have these two ready, then you can create an express entry profile. And if you need support, you can reach out to us and we can support you to create your express entry profile. So after you have done that, make sure you have the required document and you are ready for your permanent residency. Okay, so make sure you have all of the forms ready, all of the documentation that you would require ready. Okay, so the third step is for you to go to New Brunswick immigration page to submit what they call an expression of interest, which is actually where you will answer those questions, okay, where you will get all those points that we mentioned previously. Okay, so you can go there, which means that you are interested in immigrating to that particular province. Okay, that is what it means, and then sending them the details of your profile. So once you create an expression of interest, you are going to be allocated a point based on your profile, based on the answers that you have provided under age, under education, and under the additional factors. Once you have completed that and submitted your expression of interest, you will be a candidate in the candidate pool. Okay, so there are also other candidates in the pool with their own scores. So usually on a monthly basis, the government goes to the pool based on the needs of the province, and then they select people who have certain criteria or who meet certain criteria, or people who have certain profile. Okay, so once they select you, then they will give you an amount of time for you to get all the necessary documents and then submit your application for the provincial nomination program proper. So once they give you an invitation to apply, then you can submit your application for provincial nomination to the province. And of course, after that, once your provincial nomination application is approved, they will give you a nomination certificate, which will earn you 600 extra points, which will be added to your CRS score in your federal express entry profile. So basically, when they do the next round, when they do the next federal round, you will be picked automatically and you will get an invitation to apply for your permanent residency in Canada. Okay, so this system actually works hand in hand with the federal express entry system, so they don't exist independently, and you would need an express entry profile for you to be able to utilize or enjoy the benefit of this New Brunswick express entry system. If you have a federal express entry profile created already and you want to submit your expression of interest, then this is the page where you will initiate that process. The first thing is that as a new candidate, you would need to actually register yourself as a user with credentials on this platform. And for you to do that, all you have to do is to give your name, your family name, your email, your password, confirm your password, and then click on register. So once you click on register, you would receive your user credentials, and then once you log in again, then you'll be able to actually create an expression of interest, and you'll be assigned a score based on your profile, and you will be added to the candidate pool for people who are interested in immigrating to the province of New Brunswick. Okay, so guys, this is a good opportunity. It doesn't require a job offer. We have put all of these relevant links where you can access this complete information. So they have an express entry guide which contains all of the information about the criteria, the application process, and other useful information that can guide you towards submitting or creating your expression of interest. Okay, so guys, check it out. Don't forget that we have a comprehensive Canada immigration course which is on our page, and you can access that course if you need full guidance on Canada immigration. It covers everything from getting a job, from knowing how to find licensed immigration, from express entry system, provincial nomination, community-based program. All of that is included. Even Canadian CV format, Canadian cover letter format, all of them is included in that comprehensive guide, and the link is also in the video description, and you can access it through that link. If you are planning to immigrate to Canada, that is actually a foundational knowledge that can guide you towards actualizing your dreams. Okay, so guys, thank you so much for watching. It's always a pleasure speaking with you, and have a lovely day.